Tonight on Beer Geek Nation, Weyerbacher's Quad. Hey guys, welcome to Beer Geek Nation. I'm your host, Chris Steltz. Tonight we are looking at Weyerbacher Brewing, a local brewery for me at least. I'm in Pennsylvania here. It is their Quadruple, just simply known as Weyerbacher's Quad. This is a huge beer, 11.8%, which is even high by Quadruple standards. If you are new to the craft beer scene and you want to get into Belgian beers, a lot of people actually start off in craft beer, through an IPA or a Belgian, which is kind of strange because they're complete opposites of the spectrum. But as far as Belgians goes, Quadruples are actually, it's kind of an American-made Belgian style. Belgian beers traditionally, when they get up to the 9, 10, 11, 12% range, they're considered Belgian strong ales. In America, we call them quads. You are also going to see Belgian strong ales, depending on the brand and how they want to be as far as traditional or whatever. But in my eyes, Quadruple, it's still a Belgian style. It's just an American Belgian style. Interestingly enough, Quad is actually the first commercially brewed Quadruple in the U.S. So this is kind of the one that started it all. There were, smaller breweries making Quadruples or what they considered Belgian strong ales at the time, but this was the first commercially, available one. So it was the one that was most available to people. We can get this, I'm in Pennsylvania, I can get this pretty much easily. A lot of the East Coast, Mid-Atlantic, you're still going to be able to get this, Ohio. And from what I understand, they are shipping to California now. So, and I guess they're using the same company. I guess Stone Brewing actually imports, I use import loosely, but they actually bring them over from the East Coast. And they are available in California now, from what I understand. So I'd be interested to hear if you California guys can get Quad out there. And if you do, I'd like to hear your opinion on it, because you guys kind of have a different beer scene out there. This is, the complete antithesis of like a hoppy double IPA. So I'd be curious to see what you guys think of this one. But again, this is their Quadruple, 11.8%. Huge beer, absolutely huge beer. I have had this before. It is a, how do I put this? It's a extreme beer, which is Weyerbacher. That's what they're known for. Big, huge, kind of experimental beers. And a lot of times they hit the mark. So with that said, let me get it into the glass. I'll let you know how it smells, how it tastes, and get you the verdict, and we will go from there. Pouring this beer, you don't get any kind of aromas or anything. I think if you were close enough, you're going to get some of the bready, raisiny, kind of phenol alcohol characters of it. But when I pour it, I'm kind of behind the camera, and I really don't get any kind of aroma unless it's really hoppy or anything. So that's the pour. But, with the actual smell of the beer, and this is my new Duvel gigantic tulip. That's 12 ounces worth of beer. Actually got this at Oma Gang, so thanks for Oma Gang. Smelling it, that is just a traditional, and I use traditional loosely, but a traditional smelling Quadruple. Tons and tons and tons of phenol alcohol. And, it's kind of the fruity alcohol esters. And, it's all that Belgian yeast. And how they get that is they ferment a Belgian Quadruple, and even Belgian triples and duples and everything, doubles. They're fermented at such high temperatures, and when I say high temperature, I mean between 80, 85, even some as high as 88 degrees Fahrenheit. And what that does, the yeast actually generates this kind of fruity kind of these fruity esters that are traditional for Belgian style yeast, and that's what I'm getting a ton of those in this. Whereas if you were to ferment a Belgian yeast at a cooler temperature, say traditional ale yeasts are fermented between 65 and 70 degrees, and even a little bit lower than that. And when that happens, you just get a clean, a clean finish. You don't get a lot of yeast characters. But Belgian beers, as a lot of you know, are known for their yeast characters, and this beer is no exception. I'm getting a lot of rum raisiny, fruity, rum raisin bread kind of smells. No hop characters at all in the aroma. When I taste it, I'm getting a little bit of bitterness, but I get a lot of the the only way I can describe it is kind of like a rum raisin bread. A lot of bready malts. It's a little bit thinner than I would have thought it would have been, but it's a little bit thinner. A little bit of bitterness, but a ton of dark, prunes and raisins and figs and just wheat bread and all that kind of stuff that you traditionally think of being in a Belgian beer. It's just concentrated. They kind of concentrated and just shove it in these quadruples. And this beer is no exception. It's all there. All those traditional Belgian style smells that you get from the monastery or originate in the monasteries and the Trappists and all that stuff. That is a big beer. Oh, it's good. It is a very good quadruple. By no means is it an easy beer to drink, and I say that in both a negative and a positive way. Negative being you can't just sit there and drink these one after the other. It's kind of a commitment. But if you're willing to commit to this beer, I really enjoy it. Have I had better quadruples? Yes. There are better ones out there, and I can never pronounce this name, but it's the Koningshoven. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but their quadruple, it's actually from Belgium. It's just a phenomenal quadruple. As far as I'm concerned, it's the best one. So if you can find that, definitely try that one. If you can find this one, if you can get Weyerbacher in your area, definitely try it. It's a great beer. It's a year-round beer. It used to be a seasonal release. It's now a year-round beer, so you can get it anywhere. Great raisiny, plum, dark fig kind of bready notes. Really good. It's really good. But again, it is 11.8%. As far as the mouthfeel and everything goes, it's definitely there. It is a big beer. As far as the color, dark red, a little bit lighter than quadruples usually are, but it's that dark red, light, dark orange, light brown, white head. A little bit of carbonation, not a whole lot. You don't want a whole lot in these beers. A little bit of lacing, not too much, but yeah, it's good stuff. On a scale of 1 to 10, I think I'm going to give this one a 9. I really enjoy Weyerbacher beers, and I kind of applaud them for putting their heads out there and kind of saying, look, this is what we do. We do these extreme beers, and like I said, this was the first commercially brewed quadruple, so you have to kind of give it to them. They're the ones that, really kind of said, okay, we're going to do this, whether you like it or not, and here it is. So, again, this is Weyerbacher's Quad, 11.8% alcohol, available year-round if you can get Weyerbacher stuff. Most of the East Coast can get it. Starting to get it in California. It is a Pennsylvania brewery. But if not, I highly recommend it. Until next time, cheers.